Okay. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Anyone tuning in? With some of these drawings from yesterday. Okay. Yo, White Tunes, how's it going, man? Good to see you in here again. Just about to get into some top-down analysis now. So, all right. So on the daily, yeah, I mean, the daily is kind of on a weird one because on one hand we left this huge daily fair value gap here completely untouched. You know, with a high inside, and then we have this high here from yesterday, again completely unfilled. Untapped. There is an SMT. Oh, is there an actually, wait, no, perhaps there isn't an SMT. Just check. No, I guess there is, but it's a bit of a weird SMT. Anyway, I'll leave it for now. I'm not going to mark it up. Yeah, so on the daily, what do we have? I'll draw a fib. There's not really too much in discount here. Let's head down to the 4-hour. This was my sell side draw from yesterday. It did get tapped after we accumulated for a little while. Well, is that daily? Wait, let me mark out the unfilled portion of the daily fair value gap there. Okay. So the SMT here is still valid, and then we have a H4 inversion. But we didn't sweep. Actually, we did sweep some liquidity here, but we didn't tap into this daily, which I don't know why price would leave that, to be honest. I'll mark this out anyway. That. And we are also rejecting off this 4-hour FEG right here. And then I'll mark out some sell side. Like I mentioned the other day that we had low resistance liquidity here on the 4-hour, down to this unfilled portion of the daily. So we could continue bearish here. I would have really liked for it to have tapped this daily gap and swept this sell side liquidity before, sorry, this buy side liquidity before reversing towards these daily gaps. But it is what it is, I guess. It obviously took everything it needed from this high. Yeah, so again, can't really complain. We'll mark out some sell side liquidity pools that we could potentially target, and then we'll zoom in and we'll see if there's anything more tempting. Okay. I've got a couple of sell side liquidity pools here marked. We can always you know, if we do decide to tank, we can always zoom in a little bit more. This is a low inside of a daily gap, so it's a good draw on liquidity for a maybe for the end of the week if we do continue bearish. All right, so I mean that's the 4-hour done. There is this 4-hour inversion as well. Obviously, we closed back above it, so I don't know. It doesn't really matter too much. It's not really holding price or anything, so there's no need to have it like prominently marked. All right, so H1 time frame. SMT still at the highs, is still valid, so we did take sell side, but we could, like, given order flows bearish, we could carry it on lower. It looks like we mitigated the EQ of this range, which we did. So there's not really any reason for price to head back up here. There's no imbalances or anything, except for this tiny one here. Okay. We also inversed this on the hourly, so I think it's safe to say that we're going to continue lower, at least for a little bit here. We do have a low resistance liquidity run. Let me just see what sort of angle we're looking at here. It's about a 45-degree angle, so it is a low resistance liquidity run. Maybe price is just saving this for later. Afternoon, MCOM. Good to see you in here. We're looking bearish today, so I'm just on the hourly. I'm about to zoom in a little bit more, a little bit closer. The sell side draw that I mentioned yesterday's stream did eventually get tapped. Right here, as you can see, we swept it, but there was a lot of chop. There's like a 15-minute. I think, yeah, here's the 15-minute. I mean, we're just chopping on this 15-minute. I guess if you'd have waited, this is a pretty clean 15-minute. I feature you to the draw. If you were super confident in it, you could have taken it. This is like kind of no man's land time now, of the end of lunch, start of PM session. It's a weird time to be trading. It's a shame that there's a 3-minute short setup here, but it's a shame that we didn't get a valid confirmation and price was kind of choppy through it. I'll quickly show you before. We've got 10 minutes till market open here, so I'll just show you. I was looking for a confirmation of the 3-minute closure. That was a bit skew-if and it wasn't super clean, so couldn't take it. If this was cleaner though, definitely would have entered that short there, and obviously, could have held all the way to the sell side draw, which is what I do. I'll take a trade, I'll take partials at the next liquidity and hold all the way for the sell side draw, and this is a pretty crazy risk to reward. 1 to 7. Yeah. I mean, even if you did stop at the high, you had SMT and everything, so if you didn't really need to, but doesn't really matter too much. No big deal. Yeah, let's head back into the 15 minutes. It wasn't finished on there. We do have some engineered sell side liquidity here. It's a low resistance liquidity run. Right here, you got 3 stack lows. Price may retrace. I'll draw a range on the lower time frame. We are rejecting off this 15-minute from London session. There's no reason for price to come back above this high here, except if it needed to sweep liquidity for a move lower. But because all of this price is balanced, there's no inefficiencies in there. Sorry, there's no inefficiencies here. There's none on the H4, there's none on the H1, there's none on the 15-minute. So there's no reason for price to want to come back up and sweep Asia highs. It's not like left equal highs or anything. I mean, they are kind of relative, but we'll see. We'll see. There's like no imbalances here either, apart from this 15-minute, but it's filled. So all of this price area is completely balanced. So we may just tank. The thing is, at 8:30, we just sort of shot down. So it's, So usually I'll look for a manipulation at 8:30, but we kind of expanded. So maybe we get manipulation AM and then continuation, but we'll see. Again, this 5-minute hair is completely balanced. All this price is balanced, which could mean it could either mean that price doesn't want to revisit this area because it is all balanced and it doesn't have any inefficiencies to rebalance, or it could just be gearing up for a low resistance liquidity run. So we'll see which scenario we get. But there's nothing here on the 5-minute that would indicate, that we want to move higher. Obviously, we did sweep this low from pre-market. I don't know if this is a data low or not. It's kind of a weird time, 5:35 in the morning. So, it is an abnormal candle on the wick though, so I'm not too sure what caused this. Yeah, we did obviously sweep that, and then obviously I'm going to be gunning for this low here and potentially lower. I'm hoping that we don't just tank market open and not get an entry. All right. M1, did we rebalance this range? Yes, looks like we did. Yeah, we did. And then all of this is balanced. So all of this price is balanced. I don't see any reason for price to want to come higher, apart from if it wants to run the entire move and sweep Asia high too. And then there's no imbalances above that either. So if it's going to run this, it's probably going to run this. There's nothing in its way, basically. So either it's going to continue going down because there's nothing left to rebalance above, or it's just wants all of the sell stops. But I don't see any reason to try and take a long here. No, we've not got any. We're not reacting off of any imbalances yet. So I think the best course of action. Whilst my mouse is low on battery, just before we're about to start. The best course of action here, I think, is to wait for this low or another potential low. Maybe one with a imbalance below it or something. Get taken, maybe we do manipulate higher and sweep some of this range. Like I say, 830s just come straight down, and usually when we get 830 manipulate in a different direction, we'll get expansion. But like I said, there's not really any reason for price to want to go higher unless it's going to run the entire move. So, and we also have FOMC tomorrow. So the day before FOMC, sometimes we'll just consolidate. We'll sometimes get choppy price action, basically engineering buys or sell stops for the move FOMC to take it. So what this might be price just engineering, buy stops here for a potential move higher during FOMC tomorrow. In which case we could just range today. Hello guys in the TikTok, appreciate you tuning in. Excuse me. Yeah, we've got 4 minutes until market open here. I'll just quickly look on a different time frame to see if there's any imbalances. You see, we're in a strange position here because there's not really any inefficiencies in this area here. There's 143 points here of no inefficiencies, and then there's also, there's this one here actually. So if we close, maybe we get the hourly at 10, but there's 213 points here of no inefficiencies. So it's kind of like in the middle of no man's land. There's nothing to really go off. I guess that's December for you, but yeah, so it's a weird one. Definitely a weird one. This H4 is completely filled too. And then there's nothing now until this daily gap. I'd say this price is all balanced too. It's either going to go one way or the other pretty quick, I think. If we had a 4 hour or something, maybe not 4 hour, but maybe an hourly or something, maybe like right here, below this low or something like that, then this would be great, a good target. But what I'm seeing is basically both sides are balanced, but we're bearish. So the only thing that I can, think what we're going to do is head down and sweep sell side liquidity. So that's kind of what I'm going to go off. Just smacked my phone. Apologize for that. That's kind of what I'm going to go off here. So we're going to just react to what we see, and yeah, I think we just most likely go down. I'll mark out this hourly, but we haven't closed it yet, so it's not valid yet, obviously. It's completely balanced. It really is. If we dig back into this range, we know that price is then going to, immediately rebalance this H1, and it's not going to be an inefficiency, in which case we could probably just target lower. Now we have a high here and build M5 FVG. Completely filled though, to the tick, really. Actually to the tick. Like, that's crazy how balanced price is. I've never really seen price like this. I mean, I probably have, but it's a rare occasion, like completely to the tick. All right, well, I guess we'll just sit here and watch market open. Market opens literally right now. It's just opened. What are we going to do here? Okay, so I mean, here's this range that the hourly hadn't filled, so maybe we fill this and get an immediate rebalance on the hourly. Right, so we left relative equal highs here, along with a 930 wick. There's no entry here. There's no entry here. No SMT, and this is tiny. Really, really small gap. Again, this one's absolutely tiny as well. There's no entry, so if we did have a gap here and we inversed it straight away, I'd take it, honestly. There's no reason for price to go higher, so why would we need, we've already just immediately rebalanced this H1. This is kind of what I thought would happen. Yeah, everyone's waiting on FOMC, it seems like. I mean, there's nothing really for me to, analyze any further. I guess I could just clean this up a little bit. So we did leave relative equal highs. Yeah, I mean, pretty much it's just relative equal highs, and then obviously we have the 930 wick, which kind of acts like a data high. So maybe we come back up and sweep this. Maybe after taking this sell side. So 1 minute FVG here. Two minute. There's a 2 minute as well. I mean, this is valid. If we do get the closure here, preferably got to wait for the 2 minute though. But I mean, this is a good draw on liquidity. The thing is, the context isn't really that great. You know, we're still bearish, and yeah, I mean, obviously if we got the closure, then I'd have taken it, but we're just rejecting off of it and heading lower. We'll see. Maybe we get the 2 minute closure. Yeah, I mean, if we get this 2 minute closure, I'll take this. I've got no problems taking this. The 1 to 3 are. Obviously, your stop isn't there, your stop's at the low. But if it closes back below, then it's a hard stop out. All right, I'm in that. See if it works out. So we obviously cut the trade if we close back below this one M1 IFEG. That's why the stop here. There wasn't any 30 seconds or anything in the way. No. So we got the 30-second closure, the M1 closure, and the 2 minute closure after sweeping liquidity. The only thing is, both sides are completely balanced, and this is the only good draw on liquidity in the zone. So that's my justified. That's my justify. Can't even speak. That's my justification for taking this trade here. So. Yeah, TikTok thingy. Gonna help you guys out, give you a bit more viewing area. There we are. This is looking good so far. There's no break-even point here, but I am just going to move my stop to break-even anyway. Just because we've made a decent move off the entry here. So give it a second. I guess this would be our next break-even point. So, you know, we did make an intermediate term high here, and we've just powered through it. So, yeah, I guess it's a valid break-even point. All right, guys, let's go. Finally a trade. Yeah, I'll put my executions on. Finally a trade. Let's go, man. Let's go. I'd say W's in the chat, but there's no one in the chat, so. Yeah, no, we'll definitely take that. After having no trades for the past couple of days, this is a breath of fresh air. Breath of fresh air. This was clean. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah, W in the YouTube chat. I'm come. Good stuff. And you know what? There's no point in me sticking around, so I'm probably gonna head off pretty much straight away here. You know, one and done kind of thing. Hey, I said W in the chat. I'm come. Appreciate the W there. Did you take this one? Yeah, I mean, there's no point in me staying on here. Yeah, nice. And this is, you know, the past couple of days you've been watching me, and I've missed so many trades because they weren't clean. This is the only clean, you know, the clean trade that we've had in days. You know, and you can see what I mean when I say it's clean. This is a super nice closure. We waited for the 2-minute closure as well. So, you know, if we'd taken the 1 minute and then the 2-minute rejected, that wouldn't, you know, we would have got stopped out there. But no, this is a great draw on liquidity, relative equal highs, 930 wick, which acts as a data high. So yeah, I mean, this is good stuff. Really good stuff. And obviously we sweep the high now and we dilly-dally. So yeah, definitely happy I took that trade there. If anything, this is a good trade to go short on, I'm not gonna lie. If we got this closure here, I'm not gonna take it, obviously. I was just taking a trade. You'd have to wait for the 2-minute actually. We might get some sort of like seek and destroy profile because it's the day before FOMC. But this was a nice little scalp for a very dry week of of December price action. So yeah, super happy with that trade. 2-minute. There's a 2-minute closure right there. Let's go. Welcome in the TikTok chat. We've just taken a nice winning trade here. First winning trade that we've had so far in December. Price action has been really slow. I've actually probably only taken like maybe 2 of the trades. I think one was a break even and one was a small loss. So yeah, I mean, drop a follow if you were in the stream for this this trade. I'll do this every day. So I always wait for the cleanest setups here. This was very clean. You know, if you were here from pre-market, you'd have realized that I read market like a book today. Yeah, this was a great draw on liquidity. Relative equal highs plus 930 wick. Solid A+ draw for a scalp. Usually what I'll do is I'll hold the trade for a draw on liquidity, but because both you know, sides of the market are incredibly balanced, there's not really any inefficiencies. This has already been balanced as 15-minute here, as you can see. You know, both sides of the market are incredibly balanced, so there's not really a draw on liquidity for me here. which is why I took, you know, this little scalp here. Sometimes you just have to adapt, and yeah, we adapted, and it's only a 2.5R, so it's not a huge risk to reward ratio, but no partials, so full, you know, full entry and full TP here. All right, I'm gonna head off. Appreciate anyone tuned in, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Tomorrow I'll be streaming live tomorrow, AM session before FOMC, so we've got to be super careful. But yeah, later, guys. Appreciate you tuning in, Can. I've ended the live on TikTok. Yeah, man. I mean, you're always in there, so obviously the support is super appreciated. That's you I'm talking to, and not a different viewer. In which case, I apologize to the different viewer. And you, man. Take care. Take care.